Well, according to Politifact, you are a liar, liar, pants on fire if you are insinuating that Seth Rich might be the WikiLeaks leaker with the DNC emails. They say you are a liar, liar, pants on fire in this latest article. It says the baseless claim that slain DNC staffer Seth Rich gave emails to WikiLeaks. So we're going to show you how Politifact is actually a Politifraud on this story. It starts out by talking about the intelligence community concluding that Russia tampered with the election. Yes, these 17 intelligence entities say that it was Russia that was meddling with the election, even though they have said that they cannot prove that any votes were changed, even though they cannot prove that it was Russia that actually hacked into the DNC. They cannot prove any of that. We're just supposed to take them at their word like we do with every other thing. But it goes on, including stealing Democratic Party emails and giving them to WikiLeaks. That's right, Politifact is saying that that was Russia. Well, even if that was true, shouldn't we be thanking Russia? Shouldn't we be thanking Russia for exposing the corruption inside the Democratic Party? After all, Donna Brazile did leak questions to Hillary. That was true. She lost her job. And let's not forget, there was an email from John Podesta that said he'd be willing to make an example of a potential leaker, whether it be them or not. But let's go on. They say it's an unfounded conspiracy theory that Seth Rich may have been murdered because he gave the emails, the DNC emails, to WikiLeaks. But yet, they just ignore this when they say unfounded. They ignore the Clinton body count that's gone mainstream. They ignore Kim.com's statement. They ignore the former British ambassador, Craig Murray, who said it was a handoff. They ignore the fact that they claim Seth Rich was robbed, even though nothing got robbed from him. And you have a full investigation going into Russia, yet they can't prove any evidence there. So what's the real conspiracy? That it was Russia that influenced the election, or that Seth Rich was the DNC email leaker to WikiLeaks? They go on. They admit Seth Rich worked on voter access projects for the DNC. Well, yeah, he wasn't just a staffer. He was very important as far as voter access projects were concerned. And they admit that the case remains unsolved. But somehow you're unfounded if you have a conspiracy theory about what happened to Seth Rich. WikiLeaks published tens of thousands of internal DNC emails several days after Rich died. WikiLeaks also offered a $20,000 reward for information about Rich's murder. Yet again, Politifact says that these are unfounded claims, even though they point this out in their own story. Amazing. Now let's get to Rod Wheeler. A lot of strangeness here. Rod Wheeler, private eye, investigates into Seth Rich, says he finds something, then retracts his statement. It's a weird development with the parents. Of course, you have Donna Brazile, who was warning against a private eye investigation into Seth Rich. But then you have the Rich family that apparently sent a cease and desist letter to Rod Wheeler, the guy that they apparently hired themselves. But it's funny because Seth Rich's parents put a video out debunking the people saying that Seth Rich's parents are calling the conspiracy theories sociopaths and they want them to stop. Here's the video.
Hi everyone, this is Joel, I'm Mary, and we're Seth's parents. And we just wanted to say thank you for helping us. We're just so warmed that you would step forward and try to help us find the murderer of our son and try to find the two that killed him and make the world a safer place. Seth always believed in people helping each other and that the world would be a greater place if more people did, and we are just so happy and from the bottom of our hearts can't say thank you enough for helping us find who killed Seth. Thank you so much.
So it sounds to me like Seth Rich's parents are thanking people on the internet for investigating this because they're not getting the answers that they want from the DC police, but we'll get to that in a second. Now, they're going to say that Fox News has retracted this story, and it's true. Even Fox News, who went with this story, people such as Sean Hannity broke this story, and now they've retracted. You have to wonder why that is, even though Newt Gingrich came out very sternly saying that he believes Seth Rich was the leaker. So why did Fox News retract? But here's another interesting twist. Only the DC police are being allowed to investigate this right now. Everyone else, the FBI, the CIA, everybody else, they're busy investigating Russia, can't find anything. DC police are busy investigating Seth Rich. They won't even actually do the investigation. They didn't actually go to the bar and question people at the bar where Seth Rich was last seen before his murder. And you wonder, why is this going on? Maybe it's because Heather Podesta is on the DC police board. Let's see, Heather Podesta, John Podesta. Wow, I don't think that John Podesta has anything to hide here. It's not like John Podesta was exposed in the WikiLeaks emails. It's not like John Podesta has anything to lose with this election loss for Hillary Clinton being his fault, which he now apparently admits. But let's recall, this is what happens when the DC police isn't doing the investigation. You have to have private investigators, which are hired by Texas businessman Ed Butowski from Fox News. He has to finance this investigation because the DC police aren't doing it. The DC police are basically standing down. And then you have people on the internet who look for details. And that's why Seth Rich's parents were thanking people on the internet, not like the fake news is telling us. Now, Wheeler also said he believes the local police and the FBI are engaged in a cover-up. Again, we mentioned Heather Podesta. That might be the reason why. So, again, here's Politifact saying, so the allegation that Rich was the real DNC leaker and related insinuation that Rich was murdered because of it rests nearly entirely on claims from a single unnamed federal investigator with unspecified connection to the case. That is so wrong, it's not even funny. They are completely ignoring the case or the claim from Kim.com, who is saying that he's ready to cooperate with authorities. He's ready to turn over the evidence. So again, here is Politifact being Politifraud and blatantly, well, lying by omission. And again, we have nothing on Russia. They've been investigating Russia for months. They've produced nothing. No hard evidence. Zero. They say, oh, they left a footprint on the computer. Yeah, that's a typical hacker technique to leave the fingerprint of somebody who it's not so that you don't get the blame. I'm sure the FBI is unaware of that tactic. So then they say no evidence has emerged that shows Rich was so disgruntled with the DNC that he would do this. Really, no evidence. Let's see, the DNC is actually being sued right now. There is an ongoing lawsuit, 45 different states. These are Bernie Sanders supporters who are suing the DNC because they believed that the DNC robbed the election from Bernie Sanders. And guess what? They're probably right. And guess what? Seth Rich was disgruntled because he's a true American that wanted to see an actual election take place, not the selection of Hillary Clinton. And when he saw the selection of Hillary Clinton, he was not happy, and that would be why I allege that he leaked the emails to WikiLeaks, not the Russians. But I'm unfounded, according to Politifact, which again, we are showing as Politifraud. So they even admit the leaked emails were overall rather mild. Really? If they were mild, then how did they influence the election? If they were mild, then why did Donna Brazile get fired? No, they were hardcore. Okay? And that's why they're trying to make you forget about Seth Rich and blame the Russians as if the Russians were the bad guys when it's really inside the Democrat Party. It goes on, they didn't expose any conspiracies or illegal activity. Really? The emails didn't expose the illegal activity of Donna Brazile handing over questions. And who knows what else is in those emails, folks. We've read them. All of this together makes a pretty flimsy case, especially when compared to the broad consensus that Russia actors were the true culprit. So a flimsy case for Seth Rich with all the evidence, but a strong case for Russia with zero evidence. Politifact, you are Politifraud.
This is one of the biggest secrets out there. The missing link of why our ancestors, whether you were in Africa or ancient Albion, which is England today, why our ancestors were so much stronger. I mean, there are huge archaeological reports, all sorts of anthropology studies, you can look them up for yourself, that show that humans, just an average farmer of 10,000 years ago in England, was stronger than Olympic athletes today. In the final equation, everyone knows our modern society has lost its vitality. The sperm counts are down like 90%. People are falling apart. They're totally depressed. They're unhappy. What is going on? Every ancient culture was obsessed with what I'm about to reveal to you. Today we call it bone broth, and for thousands of years our ancestors enjoyed its benefits before it became lost to our modern diets of processed junk. That's why I'm so excited to announce the product that is undoubtedly the jewel in the crown of InfoWars Life products. Caveman. We lost our vitality because we just ignored the ancient traditions. Everyone knew that you used all the parts of the animal. You used the skin to cover yourself or for shelter. You used the meat for sustenance, the fat for cooking, but you used the bones for strength. We are now introducing Caveman by InfoWarsLife.com, the ultimate in true paleo nutrition with bone broth, turmeric root, chaga mushroom, and 7 total primal superfoods in a single great tasting formula. The bone is so amazing. From the outside structure full of minerals and key cofactors to the marrow that produces the blood for the body. This is the engine of the life essence. I've made a lot of important points here, but this is the one you need to research for yourself because it's so key. High quality bone broth helps support healthy muscles and connective tissue, while the active compounds in turmeric do battle on the cellular level and help fight free radicals. And collagen is essential to aid healthy tendons, ligaments, and muscle tissue. This is an absolute win-win. You get an amazing product produced right here in America. You support InfoWars and all we're doing to promote freedom and the restoration of our republic and promotion of freedom worldwide. The journey towards better health and giving our bodies these amazing compounds that God created starts at InfoWarsLife.com. 3 years in the making, incredible research, and the very best ingredients. I'm Alex Jones, and I may not be a caveman, but compared to these trendies out there in the street, I'm as close as it gets. Join me at InfoWarsLife.com and get your caveman formula today.